Hello viewers, welcome back. In today's video, I am going to discuss how the type of the verb determines the minimum length of the predicate. We know that verbs are broadly divided into two categories: intransitive verbs and transitive verbs. An intransitive verb does not take an object. An intransitive verb does not require an object, as in sentence number 1, some birds are flying. To fly is an intransitive verb. So we can complete the predicate here, the minimum length of the predicate. However, we can extend the predicate by adding different words and phrases if we so desire, if we want to, if we feel it necessary. For example, we can extend the predicate of this sentence by using the phrase in the sky and the word now. Some birds are flying in the sky now. But a transitive verb requires at least one object. There are some transitive verbs that require two objects each that I will discuss later in the next video. Some other birds are eating grains. Now the birds can fly if they wish, but the birds cannot perform the act of eating until and unless the grains are within their reach. So, grains here is essential, it is indispensable to complete the predicate. We cannot complete the minimum length of the predicate without the object in case of a transitive verb. Today, I am going to discuss only the two subdivisions of the intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs like to fly can complete the predicate, the minimum length of the predicate, without any extension, that is, without any extra word, like now or in the sky. These words and phrases are called adjuncts or adverbials because they function as adverbs, adverbs of place, adverbs of time, etc. But look at this sentence. The man is Mr. Shen. And sentence number 2b, he is old. Is, that is be, as an ordinary verb, is an intransitive verb. Be, become, look, seem, grow, get, etc. are intransitive verbs. But how do I know that this verb is an ordinary verb or a helping verb or auxiliary verb? Notice that here is only one verb in this sentence. Here is only one verb in this sentence. When there is only one verb in any sentence, the verb is an ordinary verb. It is not an auxiliary verb. It may be verb to be, it may be verb to have, or any other verb. Of course, the modals are never used as ordinary verbs. Modals like shall, will, may, can, must, ought to, have to, etc. Now, in this sentence, we cannot complete the predicate without the word, the noun, Mr. Shen. But Mr. Shen is not an object because to be is an intransitive verb. And also notice that Mr. Shen and the man is the same person, though Mr. Sen is a different word. The man is a word, a noun, Mr. Sen is another noun, but they refer to the same person. And such a noun, or here, he is old. Old is an adjective, but we cannot complete the predicate without this word. This word, either a noun or an adjective, without which an intransitive verb cannot complete the minimum length of the predicate, is called a complement. Complement. A complement is a word that helps the verb to complete the minimum length of the predicate. Therefore, a complement is usually either a noun or an adjective. This complement describes the noun. Here, Mr. Sen is the man. Mr. Sen describes the noun, the man. And here, the adjective old also describes the pronoun he, that is Mr. Sen. The woman became popular. Popular is an adjective. To become is an intransitive verb. She became a leader. Leader is a noun. The young man seems intelligent. To seem is also an intransitive verb. The young man seems intelligent. Now, without the adjective intelligent, we cannot complete the predicate. It does not make any sense. The remaining group of words does not make any sense. He seems a nice person. A person is a noun. We can use here the words seems to be, the infinitive to be. He seems to be a nice man. But without to be, without the infinitive to be, it's okay. And verbs that require complements to complete the minimum length of the predicate are called verbs of incomplete predication. So, these verbs are called intransitive verbs. These verbs are also called verbs of incomplete predication. They are intransitive verbs because they do not require, they do not take any object, and they are verbs of incomplete predication because each of them requires a complement, either an adjective or a noun, to complete the minimum length of the predicate. She proved sincere. It was proved to others that she was a sincere teacher. Other people discovered. Other people found. Other people were confident that she ultimately became. She was sincere. And she proved a good teacher. She proved a good teacher. It was proved to others that she was a good teacher. Other people discovered. Other people were certain that she became a good teacher. So here, prove is used in a different sense. Sincere describes the pronoun she. So it is the complement. Here, a teacher also describes the pronoun she. So good teacher is also a complement. Notice that here teacher does not refer to any separate person. It refers to the same person as the pronoun she does. Therefore, teacher, a good teacher, is also a complement. Jack made a successful businessman. Jack made a successful businessman. That is, Jack became in course of time. He became through his efforts and sincerity. He became a successful businessman. And when make is used in this sense, it is not a transitive verb. Notice that here businessman and Jack refer to the same person. When the two nouns refer to the same person, the noun in the predicate and the noun as the subject refer to the same person, we must be sure that this noun in the predicate is definitely the complement of the subject. So it is also called a subject complement. All these complements are subject complements. And we cannot put an adjective after the verb to make when it is used in this sense as an intransitive verb of incomplete predication. Here is a list of verbs after which we can only put different kinds of adjectives. We cannot put any noun as a complement after these verbs of incomplete predication. These are all intransitive verbs of incomplete predication. He felt tired. It is getting dark. She is growing angry. He is growing old. The food smells stale. It has rotten. The food smells stale. The food tastes delicious. The food turned sour. The milk turned server, etc. Here are some verbs after which we can put adverbials of place. Here, to the market, etc. instead of an adjective or a noun whenever the context such demands. The shirt was here. We cannot end the predicate here. The shirt was. It does not carry any sense. So we must put after the verb was either a noun or an adjective, or we can also place an adverbial of place. The shirt was here. Shirt is on the wall. She went to the market. The pen lay on the table. They live in London. I stayed at their house for a month. She's sitting on the bank of the river. The boy is standing near the fields, etc. Now, there are some idiomatic expressions too, where an adjective is placed after some verbs of incomplete predication. The child fell asleep. The idiomatic expression fall asleep, fall sick, etc. Run dry. The canals run dry in summer. So, this is all about the intransitive verbs and their two subdivisions. Some intransitive verbs can complete the predicate without any complement. So, they are called intransitive verbs of complete predication. To fly is an intransitive verb of complete predication, and most of the intransitive verbs are verbs of complete predication. Only some selected verbs, as I have used here, and there are some others, you got to find them out, which are intransitive verbs of incomplete predication. In modern grammar, such verbs, that is the intransitive verbs of incomplete predication, are also called linking verbs, because each of such verbs connects or links the noun or the adjective with the subject. And this complement usually describes the subject, but when we use an adverb, not a noun or an adjective, what should we call it? Is it a complement or not? In traditional grammars, a complement is either a noun or an adjective. The man is Mr. Sen. The complement here is a noun, and as it refers back to the subject, it is called subject complement. In this sentence, the adjective old describes the pronoun he or Mr. Sen. So it is also a subject complement. For these reasons, these verbs are called linking verb. Be, become, grow, seem, look, appear, etc. are also called linking verbs. But in fact, they are all intransitive verbs of incomplete predication, because none of them can complete the minimum length of the predicate without the complement. And a verb that requires a complement is obviously a verb of incomplete predication. Now, we may also call them linking verbs. What about this adverb? Is it a complement? It definitely functions like a complement, because without this adverbial, without this adjunct, here or to the market, the sentence, the remaining words, the remaining group of words will carry no sense. So some modern authorities also are of the opinion that such adverbials can be called complements. But for now, let us stick to our traditional view that a complement is either a noun or an adjective, but in some verbs, like lie, live, stay, sit, stand, be, etc. We can also use an adverb of place just like a complement, because without this adverb of place, this adjunct, this adverbial, we cannot complete the minimum length of the predicate. That is all about grammar today. In my next video, I will discuss the different subdivisions of the transitive verbs. Thank you for watching. Expecting to meet you in my next video.